Hi, my name is Zizaran, and I'm going to look over the new development manifesto. And alerts are currently off. Tomorrow we're releasing the full patch notes. In the meantime, get some teasers on what the patch notes will actually be. Spells. For a number of leagues, the majority of builds that use spells have used proxies like totems, traps, or mines to cast heals for them, mainly because self-cast is garbage. There has been a focus on skills that do their work automatically over a long duration, just because this is better. For this expansion, we focused on putting power back in the hands of casters, rewarding players who cast heals directly. In addition to a number of support gems, we made changes to almost every damage spell in the game, and probably nerfed the shit out of traps and mines. We've reviewed and adjusted the base damage and effectiveness of almost every primary damage spell. We've also included some traps, mines, and totems in these adjustments. These are more likely than not positive. These changes have focused on separately balancing low and high levels. Many skills have required only power increases at low or high levels depending on where they naturally excel. We've also reviewed VAL skills and skills from items. A small number of spells that we consider too powerful for their ease of use, like Brand's, Winter Orb, and Blade Vortex, have had their damage lowered. We'll be revealing the full list of changes in the patch notes. Rip Winter Orb. Mana cost of many skills have been adjusted to make the mana cost per time of skills much more consistent. Most skills that were adjusted have their cost lowered. There are a few exceptions to the cast time, the equivalent mana cost rule. Channel skills are slightly cheaper, while curses are more expensive than other skills. We will include a list of specific changes in the patch notes. Many spells that cast time higher than 0.75 and their damage adjusted to match. These skills were often too unwieldy to cast yourself, and their high effective hit damage made them very powerful with traps, mines, and triggering effects. Oh. Discharge, Glacial Cascade, Arc, and Ice Nova. Huh. But Discharge is still... Nobody's gonna be self-casting Discharge, right? I can't see that happening. Like that's 0.75? That's still not enough. It's still just gonna be cast on crit, most likely. Interesting. Some skills that had lower area of effect than other skills without a good reason have had either their area increased or now an additional radius. Combined with new options for increasing spell area, this should help these skills be more enjoyable to use. You'll find sources of ink AoE on the passive tree for casters. Note that we'll be giving similar bonuses to attack skills in the future, just not 3.6. Huh. Poor melee. We've made a few other changes to various spells, like lowering the cooldown on Convocation. Wow, even again? That's awesome. Having Spark be able to re-hit a target after it's pierced after a short delay. Wow. Yo, that is large. And having unearthed projectiles fly much faster. These are buffs. Arc also has a lower chain distance now, so it won't bounce between distant packs of enemies. This is a nerf. Support gems. A number of support gems that have fallen behind others in power and utility are receiving some numerical and mechanical adjustments. Chain support, fork support, and spell cascade innervate have had their values improved. Wow. But innervate's already crazy OP on heralds. Arcane Surge now has a damage multiplier at higher gem levels. Oh nice, because that was kind of garbage. That means that the that's really big for the staff thing. That's actually a really big indirect buff to staves, because they have like level 18 Arcane Surge, right? So that's very big, actually. Onslaught and Support Phantasm have higher effects on hitting rare and unique enemies. Interesting. Powerful bosses, especially the Elder and Shaper, previously had significantly less effect of curses on them. This is because of Gouda breaking the game with curse effect. This was to stop temp chains and enfeeble trivializing their encounters. We've now lowered this curse effect reduction to let damage curses provide more worthwhile bonuses against bosses. Temp chains and enfeeble now have a separate value of damage reduction and slow for normal and magic enemies, compared to rare and uniques, with rare and unique monsters having about half as much effect. The accuracy reduction on enfeeble is also being reduced. For those of you who are new to PoE, there was a theory crafter called Gouda, and there was like a change in how curses worked, and he basically managed to make enemies stand still. So there was a video of Gouda, and there was an Exile mid-leap that was just standing still because he had enough slow. The Exile couldn't move. He literally...
I couldn't move, man!
And then curses got nerfed. Yes, this is my first reading of this. Energy Shield Leech. We've added multiple sources of Energy Shield Leech to the game, both on a new support gem and for spells and passive skills. Energy Shield has a lower cap on max ray compared to life, so 10 instead of 20, but the dedicated Energy Shield Leech passes will let you increase this number. Have that for life too. Ghost Reaver now doubles your max ES Leech, returning all life. Ghost Reaver now doubles your maximum ES Leech per second in addition to turning up. That makes it 20 anyway. This makes it good for pure Energy Shield casters, as well as letting attacks have easy Energy Shield Leech access. We're occultists! We're a bunch of occultists! Embu's gonna be so excited for this league. Leech length nerf. Previously, there was no upper limit on how much an individual leech effect could restore. This meant that there was a very high damage hit with enough leech could last minutes. If not, if you had an effect letting your leech remain for full life. Yeah. So Slayer nerf. Now there's a limit of 10% restored per leech effect, so each individual leech can't last more than 5 seconds! Wow! Slayer got buried! That's barely enough to get between packs! Yikes! For the Ascendant passive, this is 5% lower. We made a large number of changes to the passive tree to provide more diverse sources of power and other increasing mechanics to spellcasters. Whew. Energy Shield Leech. Wait, I just read that. Didn't I? No. We've added a number of Energy Shield Leech for spells on the passive tree. But what about life? Why is there no life leech for spells on tree? Anyway. Both on Specialized Cluster that also boosts your damage in different ways and is part of the Fire, Cold, and Lightning Heart notables. Wow, Templar has such an amazing start now because obviously you're gonna go to the Witch area anyway. And Templar's so strong this league. Templar and Witch. Everyone's gonna play Templar and Witch. Maybe some Shadows? Is there gonna be no Marauders, Duelists, and maybe even like a limited amount of Rangers? And there's gonna be a lot of Scions. Top wheel, best wheel. The Shadow area also has a small amount of new evasion and energy shield path. Caster weapon passives. We've adjusted and added a number of passive tree clusters that affected staves, dual wielding, and shields for casters. These provide powerful bonuses to spells that were previously only found on very generic skills, including a lot of cast speed for casters that are dual wielding, a lot of damage and defenses for those using shields, and bonuses to the area of effect for staves. See, I bet you that's going to be global defenses, so it's another ES buff. We've also made various additions and improvements to some underutilized passives that affect spellcasters. Elemental Damage Wheel. The Elemental Damage Wheel of passives to the left of Templar starting has fewer elemental damage skills and a single powerful elemental notable that combines some of the power of the 2 previous elemental notables. It now includes 2 new notables. Well, that seems like a buff. Maybe less penetration though, that would be bad. Bad for Templar potentially, if you're Inquisitor. But if you're Higher or Elementalist. Convert fist damage to fire and lightning. We have so much conversion through like items though now. We don't really need tree conversion. Shadow starting passive. We've adjusted connections to the tree and the shadow starting to be more consistent with other classes. And changed the defensive passives and projectile passives to have a simpler, widely useful set of bonuses. A notable passive providing evasion, energy shield, and energy shield leech takes some of the old bonuses and places them to the right side of the tree, shifting the mana path, but is now a parallel to the jewel node and granting a small amount. That was a question mark sentence. Alright, chat, simmer down. Be nicer. 6 PM should be the full patch notes. No. No. Patch notes are tomorrow. Channeling passives. 2 new passive tree clusters to provide damage bonuses for channeling skills and defensive properties. Alright. Chat. Tomorrow in New Zealand. Patch notes are on Wednesday. Right? Is today? Oh. Really? Am I bad at time zones? Oh. I'm bad at time zones. Oh, I guess I'm staying up late then. Hey, nobody, how are you? Right, where was I? Trickster. The Trickster Ghost Dance and Escape Art is notable, have been reworked significantly, with the goal of providing a unique and very powerful reward for specializing in evasion and energy shield. Ghost Dance now creates a Ghost Shroud every second up to a maximum of 3. After you're hit, a Ghost Shroud is consumed, restoring energy shield based on your evasion rating. Ghost Dance and Escape Artist. Huh. Interesting. You have other bonuses based on your Ghost Shrouds. That's really interesting. We've also added Frenzy and Power Charge generation while channeling to the Swift Killer notable. Ah. Interesting. We've reworked the consecration-based notables of Sanctify and Pious Path to greatly improve the reliability of Consecrated Ground for Inquisitor. Instead of just giving powerful bonuses when you manage to be on Consecrated Ground, Sanctify no longer creates Consecrated Ground when hit or on kill. Instead, it will always create Consecrated Ground around you while you're stationary. Pious Path now lets the effect of Consecrated Ground linger for 4 seconds after you... That's stationary. I guess if you're shield charging, it's fine. But if you're like running with phase run, you're fucked, right? What's up with people in chat today? I don't know. These changes work well with the change to all consecrated ground that causes hits against enemies. 100% increased crit strike chance. Wow. Crit chance. Previously, an effect that would critically hit was capped at 5% minimum and 95% max. We've set both of these caps to 0% and 100. Wow! Whoa! Effects that gave enemies an additional chance to be critical hit have all been changed to instead increase the chance of crit hits against them or give additional crit chance before modifiers, as if the attacker had a critical bonus against the target rather than an additional chance on top. Rip Controlled Destruction in the start. Wow, that's very big. That's interesting. For those of you who don't understand, right now we'll slap Controlled Destruction in on everything with Elemental Overload and stuff, but now you can actually go below 5. This also means that a shit ton of new players are going to use Controlled Destruction still and follow especially old guides or guides by streamers that haven't mentioned it that are using Elemental Overload. What happens when you have negative crit chance? You just don't crit. It's gonna be another Avatar Fire thing. Interesting. But we can get 100% crit now. That's interesting. But we barely ever got crit capped anyway. Time to update old builds warning players about this? Yes, I'm going to re-upload 195 billion videos. No, I'll make a video about it instead. A non-chaos is extra chaos damage on weapons. The interaction of the non-chaos damage with hits against extra damage stat and multiple damage conversions made the stat far more powerful for very specific setups than a single stat should be. We've lowered the value of this stat on the combined craftable spell damage and non-chaos damage on weapons. The veiled mods that only grants this has now been split into 4: fire, cold, lightning, and physical. So it's lightning damage as extra chaos. These modifiers are now available. Oh man. Oh, in Legacy, I have these. We'll be looking at other sources of the stat like unique items and the Trickster Harness. Okay. +1 max totem veiled mod. The modifier is no longer available as a veiled craftable modifier. Instead, it appears as a mod on shaper items. The modifier was too powerful to be easily to apply on already. Yeah, that's fair. That's a good change. He looks so high. I'm just looking straight up. I can't do monitor capture on that monitor. I don't understand why. But that's really good that it's on shaper shields. That's a good big change. I like and approve of that. That's really important too. Like, it was just so crazy. Unique nerfs. We made some adjustments to a few unique items that were problematic. Details will be in the patch notes tomorrow, but this basically means that we completely destroyed Impulsa and Loreweave have been basically removed from the game. Poet's Pen as well, probably. What else? Poet's Pen, Impulsa, Chayula Neck, maybe? Yeah, Loreweave is in danger. What else? Headhunter? No, Headhunter's not gonna get nerfed. Osprey and Mjolnir? Aracali's Fang's probably getting butchered. Hawa is in danger. Unnatural Instinct is in danger. Incandescent Heart is in danger. You know, Aziri's Promise, I'm surprised has not been nerfed. I'd say Aziri's Promise is completely fucking bonkers for how easy it is to get. Like, they could make Aziri's Promise. They could make Aziri's Promise the new gloves. They could switch the drop rates. It should probably be belt, boots, axe, flask, gloves. Probably. I think flask should be the second rarest. Especially until they fix melee. No, like, and the axe should be buffed. 600 DPS is crazy now. Oh yeah, I'm retarded. I don't know why. Yeah, okay, so I accidentally said put Promise on Uber Aziri. I guess it could stay on the normal one, but be instead of the Scepter. I don't know what I was thinking. Why do you hate fun? No, I like fun. But yeah, I spaced out a bit. No, I just ignore what I said. I said dumb things. I'm dumb. Just ignore me. I just woke up, basically. I'm not pretending. Pepega. Anything else? Yeah, Natural Instinct, probably. Amazing. Spaghetti. Yes, Smite of the Meek. Finally something we agree on. Okay. Meek, what else? Hooves? Nah, they're not used enough. Dying Sun? That's a good one. And the Amulet. Dying Sun and the Amulet. Dislet? No, Dislet's dog. Oh. Tabula's now a 5-link. I mean, no. Nah, I think Tabula's fine. I think Tabula's fine. Solstice Vigil, yeah. Prosperous? Nah, maybe Soft Blood. Oh, Yoke! Oh, Yoke is in danger! Oh, Yoke is in danger! I don't think Softs is so much. Like, oh yeah, like hosted it maybe. Yoke is in super danger. Yoke is like the strongest item in the game right now. Tabula has colors now. Wise Oak? Yeah, Wise Oak as well. I can just see them reworking the drop rate of Wise Oak though. If Wise Oak was the same drop rate as Taste of Hate, I don't think it needs a nerf. Pandemonious? No, it doesn't have life on it. I think it's balanced. Since Rebirth? I think if they nerf the interaction with Meek and Unnatural, they fix both. Because I think they're fine on their own. In my opinion. I think that's fine. What is the big announcement? Gotta wait. Doomfist, yes. I can see Doomfist being nerfed. Fixing drop rate doesn't fix an item being OP. It sort of does, in a way. Like, it depends though. Like, Azir's Promise is problematic because it is so common. It's fine for items to be strong, but it shouldn't be something like Azir's Promise. It's like one of the stronger items in the game, and everybody can super easily access it even on SSF, right? Like they definitely, like, how strong an item is balanced. Okay, that's why they like generally never nerf Headhunter, because it is very hard to get, and Zarfi's hard. Like, Unnatural Instinct is super rare, but that's also slightly... it just breaks because of Might of the Meek, though. It, like, breaks just because of Might of the Meek. Yeah, Azir's Promise is nearly mandatory in every build that's not Avatar of Fire. Especially in Betrayal, because so much chaos damage. Damage immunity. We've made a few challenges to prevent total immunity to specific damage types, as these could be used to trivialize some encounters. Players' max resistances can now never go above 90. Any max resistance you have above this value will have no effect. This is especially important as Synthesis introduces other sources of max resistances. So probably easy to get on. Oh, that's interesting. The Glutton, while Impurity auras now provide less damage taken of their element and have less aura effect, but they weren't used that much, were they? Gluttony of Element skill now also provides Curse Immunity to prevent interactions with temp chains, letting it last far too long. Technically this is a buff, but not really. It's a nerf. It's definitely a nerf. Because we have Curse Immunity on our flasks either way. If we want to. There are plenty of other changes on our hit list for the future. I love that they actually called it a hit list. Attacks need to... these are attacks. Attacks need the same level of attention, if not more, that spells are getting in 3.6, as well as changes to Abyss Duels and physical weapon damage. But we'll be spacing these changes over 3.7 and beyond to make sure they get... You know, I'm fine with that. I don't really mind melee being garbage for another 3 months, because there is still melee skills, right? That are doable right now. You have lots of Hawa skills, Molten Strike, stuff like that. We still have melee we can play, right?